Hamjambo. Come with me as I go to my first ever trip to Tanzania. I was so excited for this trip. The reason is I've always really wanted to go to Tanzania and the opportunity never really came. The last time I was this close to entering Tanzania through the Oloitoktok border, there was it was during COVID and there were so many precautions that had been put in, and so I could only see Mount Kilimanjaro from so far away. So when I got to this chance and actually using the same border, I was so pumped. I was packing even weeks before. I was so excited. I couldn't wait. So come with me as I take you through this whole journey of my day one to Tanzania. So we were entering through the Tarakia border, which is in the Oloitoktok. And the reason we were using that instead of Namanga is because we were expecting a huge amount of traffic in Namanga because a lot of people use that border since it's closer to Nairobi. So we used the longer route to actually get to Tanzania. And that meant that our first stop would have to be Moshi because Moshi is closer to Tarakia compared to Arusha. So the first thing we did, of course, is to have lunch in Arusha because why are we eating lunch in Kenya and we had breakfast in Kenya, and we went to some Kimbantanski. Like the point ilikuwa we were going to take like street food. So we got to a certain junction, asked around for like directions to actually get to these falls, and that's where we met our guide called Marco Polo. Marco, shout out to him. If you ever see him in that particular area, please shout out to him because he was my guide. He was my guy. Let me tell you, mark this smile. Mark that smile. Because that smile was about to turn into a frown. Had Marco Polo not been used by the Heavenly Father to help me throughout this journey, let me tell you, it's one thing to go and see the waterfalls. It's another thing to be told the journey to it. Every single time I was looking at Moshi videos, Arusha videos, I was seeing people posting the falls, but not the journey there. And I'm thinking, why are you guys not posting the journey? I know why. Because they were busy trying to breathe their way into the waterfalls. They were trying to hold their breath and their energy to make sure they have the ability to take those pictures. Because let me tell you, Maina, let me tell you something. The journey there was not easy. I was breathing through my nose and my ears and every single part of me. I was sweating through my eyes. I got to a point where I was telling Marco, I'm sweating through my eyes. Marco, I can't see. And I have to see because I have to jump these rocks. And he's like, no, Mama, kuja twende. No, come, we can. Hey, let me tell you, Maina, this thing, even these pictures, while they were being taken, this was a forced smile. There was not a genuine smile here because I was thinking, why did I come to see this water? I was coming to see water flowing from a rock. Yes, it is cooling water. Yes, it is soothing water. Yes, I did get to enjoy the water, but let me tell you, the view was beautiful. But would I do it again? Guys, have I not said this enough? Do not invite me to hikes. I will do a 200-meter walk, but I will not go up a mountain because I was called to level it anyway. Let me not complain, but it was a beautiful view. As we were down there, I was just thinking, no, okay, how are we going to get back up there? Using the same way. Is there another route? There was no other route, guys. There was no other route. So it was just me there. I'm trying to figure out my way back. We found another group coming in. And then Marco was like, no, I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to hold your hand throughout this whole journey. That's why I'm saying shout out to Marco because Maina, I needed help. So after that, we went to the Chaga Caves. This was the second destination. And so the Chaga Caves, when we came in, the first thing we were asking ourselves is, where are these caves? Okay, I'm expecting Karura Forest caves, that carve out and you're like, oh, this is the caves. So we were first given a history of how the caves were, or what was happening between the Chagas and the Maasais, and this whole drama of what caused them to start living in caves. And so we're listening. It's just an interesting history. Mind you, all of this is being said in Swahili. And then we're told, okay, let's go to the caves now. And then we realize, we are standing on the caves, guys. The caves were underground. So you're walking. These are stairs. These are steps that they have formed themselves. But this is not what used to be existing like in the past. But these caves were actually like the it factor. And these caves used to run up to like 41 kilometers, 46 kilometers. And I'm like, what? So we were asking ourselves, are we going to go for 46 kilometers? And she was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm just going to give you history and show you like where they used to stand and all of that. Mind you, these caves are a bit low. And the reason being is that the Chagas are actually very short people. And over time, they've grown taller because of intermarriages, but they're actually short people. So whatever we're seeing here is like a cave that had fallen out, and that's the reason why like there's a big hollow part. And then we were seeing the sitting room areas, like where they used to hold their livestock. We had this whole experience, and the more we continued walking, the more we realized, okay, this was a serious ordeal. Mind you, they carved these caves using like tools, like very like simple tools like spoons and all of that. We were just amazed by how much these people really like wanted to maintain their lifestyle while also keeping peace like among themselves. Mind you, if any Maasais were caught throughout this whole thingy, they would be held as slaves forever. So that was another thing altogether. So it's actually interesting history. If you ever go to Moshi, like literally go and look for those Chaga caves. They are very, very interesting. And then we were now brought in to the lifestyle of when the war was over. How did they live like outside of those caves? Now we were shown into the hearts of how they used to stay in families and who used to stay there, how they used to stay with their livestock. We were shown like the different items and utensils that they were using while they were there. And we were like, everything was explained to us, like who slept where and why did they sleep there, what happened when they got of age and things like that. It was really historical and it was really interesting. One other thing that I also learned that was very interesting is that the Chagas are actually called Chaka. Their original name is Chaka, like meaning like the forest. But because the colonizers, when they came in, they couldn't say Chaka, they end up just saying Chaga. So the actual original name is Chaka. So then we decided now let's head to the hotel. So we got into Moshi town and we headed now into where we're going to sleep. One thing about Moshi is that it is not cold. It is actually hot. There's a certain humidity that it carries that is very different from Nairobi. So please, if you ever decide to go to Moshi, please know that you're going to expect some certain amount of heat. Don't trust ChatGPT, don't trust the weather app. So once we got here, we freshened up, then we ended up going to eat dinner outside. I had some chips mayai, the Tanzanian style, and a Pepsi while I was listening to some Tanzanian thing on the TV. It was just an interesting experience. And then we walked around town like in the dark, and then we went back to the hotel and rested. Okay, see you guys in day 2.